1, 2, 3, 4. You ever seen a lame man walk? Ever heard a dumb man talk? Never seen a blind man see? I promise you will change his name. Ever seen a cancer dead? Ever seen all the poor get fed? Ever seen a prisoner set free? I promise you will change his name. Broken heart made whole. Ever seen an orphan find a home? Ever seen the weak find the strength? I promise you will change his name. Ever seen the sick get healed? Ever seen a mystery revealed? Ever seen a dead man raised? I promise you will change his name.
Tonight, whatever time it is you're watching this Big T, Bigger C, or Big C, Bigger T podcast. And look at this, folks. There's 3 windows today.
What up?
Look at this. Not only do I have my man, my right-hand man all the time, Big C, Clint Clark. What's up, Clint?
What's going on, my man? What's going on?
His life is good. But I also have our one and only sponsor, even though he didn't really have it.
He hasn't given us any money yet.
Yeah, and he hadn't really had a say. He did buy me a sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, Robert.
Yeah.
On to you.
But Robert Branscombe of Hometown Roofing. What's up, Robert?
What is up, guys? I appreciate y'all letting me be a part of the party today. I'm excited about it.
It is our pleasure. It is our pleasure.
Man, it's awesome to have you. Robert's one of our we got a kind of a group of best friends. There's us 3, and then there's Wesley Rowland.
He's the little
It's like
rut
all of
of the litter. He's the rut of the litter, if you will.
So yeah, Wesley's he's the one in this band of zeros, percent 1,000. But no, guys, it's not as, what can I say? This week isn't as cheery. It's kind of rainy, and the Hogs are no longer in the tourney.
Yeah, it was what it was, but it's kind of like guys, once again, we have a Marco Polo, which if you don't know what Marco Polo is, it's an app where you can basically record videos back and forth, and you pretty much stream live. And we go back and forth all the time. And I was telling the guys on Marco Polo that at the beginning of the year, if I'd told you, and Arkansas, I believe, was picked 7th in the SEC.
That's right.
I would have told
6 or 7.
Yeah, I mean, middle of the pack. If I'd have told you at the beginning of the year, hey, we're going to make a run, and we're going to finish 2nd in the SEC behind Alabama, and if I'd said Alabama's going to be good at basketball, you would have probably had me admitted to a mental hospital. But that Arkansas was going to finish 2nd, and that we were going to make a run to the Elite 8, you would have been like, all of us to a man would have been like,
I'll take it.
Right now.
Take it. All day long.
Twice on Sundays.
Sign me up.
And if I'd have told you we'd have played Oral Roberts in the Sweet 16, I'd be once again I'd been
Let's talk about that game.
Oh, what a game. What a game.
We knew they had 2 key scorers that we were going to have to worry about. And by the way, they were great players. They really were.
They would play anywhere in the country. You put them guys on Gonzaga, who I think, are we all in agreement Gonzaga and Baylor are the best 2 teams in the country right now?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
I think, and we talked about maybe getting this later in the podcast, but I think them 2 are on the collision course. And as long as one of them wins the game, it don't matter which one, Gonzaga or Baylor, I do win my bracket and $50.
Congratulations.
I can take that money and get rid of some of this feminist propaganda, but I got ideas about that later. So I think them 2 are on a collision course, and they're the best 2. In my opinion, they're the 1 and 2. and we're going to find out who's number one. But as long as one of them wins, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, I completely forgot the point I was going to make, so I'm going to just pass the ball.
Well, in that game, Arkansas did a great job, I thought, in defense. Our bigs were a lot more talented than their bigs. In fact, I thought we really could have played with that small lineup, destroyed them. They couldn't. Their bigs were not athletic at all. I'd heard their bigs were actually pretty good. They didn't impress me really, and that's where we beat them. Because our guard, Jalen Tate, and them out rebounded. But let's talk about Jalen Tate. A senior drives the ball, gives it up to a freshman.
Yep.
Steve-O Davis. Guys, that's humility. That's the kind of player I want on my team.
Maturity too. Maturity.
Yes, it was a smart play because he didn't have a good shot, but you look at the shot he had, 9 players out of 10 would have taken that layup themselves.
And got blocked.
And got blocked and probably would have. There'd been a no call.
And you know, I remember we played intramural basketball at Greenbrier High School, and I was on a different team than Robert. And Robert got on fire. I mean, like he could not miss a shot. I mean, pretty much it was Robert driving down the court, jacking a 3 and making it. And we got lucky to win. I had better teammates than Robert did. I'm not going to name his teammates because I don't want to embarrass them. But when you're hot like Jalen Tate was, and Jalen Tate, if Jalen Tate had not been Jalen Tate that game, we're talking about, well, we had a good run to the Sweet 16 and we lost Oral Roberts, first 15 seed to ever make the Elite 8. We're talking about that. But when you're hot and when you've had that hot hand the entire game, to have the foresight to pass the ball to a true freshman. And then Eric Musselman after the play goes, we don't run after the game. He's like, we don't run plays for Devo. We don't. We will next year, but right now he's not our go-to guy. And so I thought that was really, really big.
Something else I think Tate did in that game, just to brag on him a little more, is he did the Corey Beck factor, okay, which made me always love Corey Beck.
Corey Beck from Razorbacks.
Yeah. The reason Corey Beck was so good and what Tate did against them, it was so good, was when we needed a shot, he recognized that he was taller and more athletic than I'm gonna butcher the dude's name, Asmus or whatever his name was, the big scorer for.
I think it's
the best player.
Ab and Mass. So.
Yeah,
He was the best player on the court by far.
Yeah. Well, Tate. First of all, Tate realized he needed to go at him to get him in foul trouble, which he did. He got him in foul trouble a little bit. At least made him think about it. And then he went in and got some easy baskets on him. Mm-hmm. And then he also dished it off to some other people. That's what Beck would do. Beck would calm everybody down. He'd be like, okay, we need to go. Corliss is going to kill his guy. Let me get the ball to Corliss. Or Beck would look and say, I'm bigger and stronger than the guy that's guarding me. Let me go post him up. Or Scotty's going to get a shot on this guy. I'm going to get it to him. And I love point guards that do that.
You remember that run? I think it was either the year we won the Natty or the year after that. Corey Beck, because of a technical foul, picked up 4 fouls in the first half. And he did. And he played the entire second half and never picked up a foul. Now, he couldn't do that now because you can't hand check like he used to. I mean, he used to pretty much beat people up. They basically created the hand check rule because of Corey Beck. That's how good he was at it. I mean, when they create a rule based off what you're doing.
Him and McDaniel, yeah.
Oh, him and McDaniel, Roger Crawford, all that team, and I know we were going to segue into it later, and I'm going to kind of go ahead and take us there now because I started this way, and it's we let the natural conversation kind of go where it goes. and I've never badmouthed a teenage child on here because he's 18, 19 years old. The biggest part of the reason I think it ended in the Elite Eight was Moses Moody just did not have the tournament you expect the best player on the team. Now, why is that? You could say maybe the moment was too big for him. You could make that case. But if you notice, when we played Oral Roberts, you basically had to pick your poison. And was it O'Bannon or Bannon?
O'Bannon.
He and somebody may watch this and they'll correct her, like his name's not Bannon, it's Bob Saget.
Banner.
Yeah. But basically, Muslim was like, this guy's not going to beat us. And they held him, to 9 points? Something ridiculous. And Muslim is like, you'd be surprised how much defenses, and I don't know enough about basketball to say, okay, here's what happened. So, we've been talking about, he's going pro. I mean, there's no doubt in our mind. Whether he should or shouldn't is up for debate. And I think it's more or less that the defenses were keying in on him. And they really, because, John Hutchcraft at Guy Perkins, legendary coach. I always tease my brother and he'd get fired up about it. My brother, who is the cheapest man alive. I sold him some tickets to a baseball game that I'm not gonna be able to go to. And I don't know if I'll ever get paid. I'm hoping. I have PayPal and Cash App. If anybody wants to just send me money, I'll give you that information. But I mean, Hutchcraft, when he knew he had a great player, he would always throw the boxing one at him. He loved throwing the boxing one at him. And it would take that player out of the game 9 times out of 10. And I think that may be part of what happened to Moses. And part of it, man, it's a big stage. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think, you brought that up with John Hutchcraft. He actually he would also recruit another one too, right? So I don't mean that kind of, but yeah,
he
did. I mean,
it's what it is. He knew how to make those adjustments for sure.
Well, I think for Moody's gone.
Yeah,
I would be gone too.
We were saying the same thing about Joe Johnson, and who would look back and tell Joe Johnson, "No, Joe, don't go to the NBA. You're not going to make it."
Well, Joe did stay through his sophomore year, I believe.
Yeah,
Joe didn't go.
He did. But when he left, we were saying he's not ready. He doesn't have the killer instinct. He doesn't have, the same stuff we're saying. Moody, the NBA drafts on talent. You hear that all the time. There's going to be other players around him that's going to help him get past that. So he's gone. And it's the thing with the NBA is you got to get there and you got to start making money because your equity is your years alive and your years you have ability to play. And you only have a bracket of so many years with NFL. Like, I'm a big Browns fan. The Browns' new GM is looking at, he's not going to draft anybody 23 or older. They're looking at that literally in their draft picks. So a lot of these guys staying for COVID, that are staying for football and COVID, some of these teams aren't going to draft them just because they're older, because they're not going to get the years out of them in their prime that they want to. So anyway, Moody's gone. So let's talk about, we hadn't talked about the Baylor game really. I just want to say on it, in the Baylor game, someone else that we just found out is transferring, Desi Seals. To me, Desi Seals was a hero in the Baylor game. Desi Seals and Note. Note got in foul trouble, but I'd sent a message to another group of friends of mine on Facebook. I said, if Note scores 26, we win this game. And he was on his way. And I still think if he would have scored in the mid 20s, if he would have had a big scoring night, I think we win that game. Even against a great team. Baylor was great.
You're probably right. And I don't know, and when I was a senior at Arkansas Tech, I was I was the second string center. I never was a starter. You guys know that. I'm not going to sit here and say my career is more than what it was because there's plenty of people that could call me out on it. So, I mean, honestly, I was the backup center. They recruited a Jeremy Graybush from Oklahoma, and he come in and he beat me out for the backup center job. Jeremy Graybush was a better football player. Coach Mullins played the best player as the backup. I totally get it now. I was salty about it when I was a senior. So Desi had Devo come in, and Devo basically is a better player than Desi. It is what it is. That don't mean Desi's bad. And so there's probably a bit of saltiness there and upsetness that, you know, a lot of, because he started last year and played almost the entire game. He hardly ever came off the court. I would say Desi, Mason Jones, Isaiah Joe were your three best players. And so now he's lost some of those minutes, and he's going to go try to find them elsewhere. What I hope that means is maybe Jalen Tate's leaning on coming back. I think, you know, we talked the other day, we think Justin Smith's definitely going to be playing overseas. Way too many ways to make money in basketball these days. Even in the women's game, there's a lot of these ladies that they don't even go to the WNBA. They go play overseas. They go play in Israel. They go play other places in Europe that appreciate basketball. So there's so many ways to make money in the game that I think, you know,
Once again,
go ahead.
once you get started, that's more time on your earning potential. You know, they can go overseas and start, you know, Justin Smith, you know, and Jalen Tate both, instead of coming back here, can go make a couple $100,000 playing in Poland or something, or Israel or wherever, and make good money. And, you know, they've given college, you know, and they got to go to the Elite Eight in college, man. There's a lot of guys that don't even get to do that.
That's for sure. 25 years worth of not making the tournament or moving on in the tournament. You know, that's tough.
So, that's the question you got to look and ask yourself. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? I could go ahead and go make money now, or, you know, let's hypothetically say Moses Moody, I think we can all agree he's not coming back.
I said hi.
Whose phone's ringing?
Sorry. It's coming across on my MacBook.
Oh, okay. Then I'm not going to bust your chops too much then.
My phone's, it's not my phone, it's my MacBook.
Okay, I'm going to forgive you.
Well, let's talk about what the future has for the Hogs.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of where I was going.
We're losing Justin Smith. Losing Tate.
You're losing three starters: Tate, Moses, Moody, and Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're losing one of your key backups, Desi Seals. So you think the starting lineup next year is going to be Jalen Williams, who I think is going to take a huge step next year. Yeah. Huge step. You got to think they're probably going to play Vanover as the other big, at least for a minute. So you're going to have them two in the middle. And hopefully after another year in the system, working with the coaches, I would love to see Joe Klein get up there and work with Vanover a little bit to develop a little bit of inside game.
Yeah.
Because
apparently we got a fire down the road. They're coming by here.
Well, if your house is fired, let's tell them they're going to have to wait until we finish this podcast to put it out.
Yeah.
So, it can't be.
And one of the other guards, let's remember KK Robinson was part of this recruiting class. He was 6-foot freshman, 36th best incoming freshman in the nation, 7th best combo guard, according to 24/7 Sports. So he's used to playing with Devo Davis and Moody and them. Of course, Moody will be gone, but Jalen Williams. So I think he'll take some of Moody's minutes there. I think you're going to see Devontae Davis become more of the focal point.
And I think you just got that. It's going to, I think if Devo Davis, if it becomes Devo's team, like I think it's going to, if Devo pretty much says, all right, guys, this is my team. It's kind of like what we talked about KJ Jefferson. They pretty much said KJ's the guy. these other guys got a chance, but right now KJ Jefferson's number one. And it sounds like from everything you said last week that you stole from Trey Biddy, I'm sorry. You stole from Trey Biddy.
And I got it from press conferences too.
Yeah. That KJ's like, this is my job.
Yeah.
And I'm not giving it up for anybody. It is my job. And that's the attitude you want to have. And I think Devo, if he takes that mindset, this is my team, y'all follow me. And the one thing we all loved about Corey Beck, this is why Corey Beck's one of my, is you think, Corliss Williamson, Scotty Thurman, Final Four national champions. Who was the leader of that team?
Corey Beck.
And it just when you have a leader,
I'll tell you that.
When Alabama, I believe it was, broke that home winning streak, Corey Beck was on the end of that bench crying his eyes out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that is what you want. He cared. He cared, and he was like, and that was huge to me. And I think Devo's got that mindset. I don't think it's a coincidence that he came in wearing number 4, a kid that grew up in Jacksonville, Arkansas. I don't think it was a coincidence at all.
That reminds me of something back when we were seniors in high school and playing football. And there was a week over the weekend that I got strep throat and I was sick all week long and didn't get to practice. And somebody else practiced in my place. Well, I got released on Thursday to be able to play, to practice. And that person that had practiced all week, pretty decent player, but hadn't played a lot of football in their whole life. And so that Thursday, I went to coach and I said, Coach, I'm playing. And he said, you hadn't prepared. I said, I'm playing. It's my position. I want to play. And I went to Coach. It was Coach Smith when I told him that, and they did. I started against Clinton that weekend or that Friday night, and we were behind at halftime, playing terrible, and we come back out and we won the game in the second half, and I ended up having probably one of my best games. And so it's about taking control. You want somebody to come out and take control.
By the way, you were the right tackle. I was the left tackle. We ran behind the left side all night, and you still got interviewed by the things.
I did. And you're still hurt.
Got all the yards behind me, and you got interviewed by the radio. I was salty. I was like,
I can't help it. I can't help it that you're still mad about that.
Man, dude, I was spicy.
Well, I tell you what, thinking about what we're going to have back next year, let's get back to that, okay? If I was Musselman, man, I would be researching the triangle offense and bring some Phil Jackson into this. Because with the passer that Jalen Williams is out of the post, throw it down to him, have Devontae cut into the basket, have Note setting up outside to shoot, have the rest of your guys moving around too. KK Robinson's a slasher. They got another freshman coming in that's a 6'9", big guy that has guard skills. Okay, man, you could do some awesome stuff. I'm excited about Jalen Williams' passing ability.
The future's bright. The future,
not necessarily his scoring, but his passing ability. That guy can pass. Because there was some passes that it looked like he made bad passes, but if you watch the replays of them, like there was one he threw, went out of bounds, and they blamed it on Jalen Williams. If Justin Smith would have went to the basket instead of to the baseline, it was perfect. Like he was leading him toward the basket. All he had to do was take one step, and it would have been right in his hands.
But the future's bright. I know Musselman has got in, like they've mentioned him as a possibility in Indiana. They've hired a coach that mentioned some possibility in Texas. With the talent we have in Arkansas alone, there's no athlete. They got that kid in Magnolia. They got Pinion. There's so much talent that you could almost just recruit the state of Arkansas right now and be good. And we've mentioned this on previous podcasts. When the talent in Arkansas is good, Arkansas sports is good.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And he loves the fans of Arkansas.
He does. I think he loves it here. And we got two coaches, the two most important sports, and baseball too. I don't mention baseball because I had to admit that Robert was a better baseball player than I was, and I don't like admitting that Robert's better than me than anything. That the two most important sports are football and basketball as far as revenue goes. And I think you've got two coaches that get it. They get Arkansas. They get how much it means to us. And, man, I'm going to take this hat off and tip it to Hunter Yurchek because we got an AD that gets Arkansas.
I agree.
That loves it. So I think we need to give Yurchek a lot of credit. Y'all boys, let's all tip our hats. There you go. If you're at home right now and you're wearing a hat, tip it. Tip your hat. If you're not wearing a hat, pretend like you tip your hat. So, there you go.
Got a cow tip it too.
Hey, we could still have Jeff Long, right?
Yeah.
Don't speak ill of the dead. He got fired at Kansas too, so poor guy. But I'm sure he got millions of dollars in a buyout, so he ain't doing too bad. So.
Well, that's a future podcast I want to do and we, you kind of mentioned it, but just, has there ever been a better time in our program just at Arkansas than as far as program wide than we have right now? So that's something we can talk about later. Okay.
Hey, and I'm not opposed for somebody buying Hometown Roofing out right now. I mean, I'll take $1 million or $2 million right now. So.
Oh, you will? Okay, $1 million or $2 million.
Hometown Roofing for all your roofing needs.
Right.
Yeah, but going back to last week's podcast, we talked about that coming of age trip that we took, and Travis, why don't you carry on there, buddy?
Well, we talked about that trip, and of course, we wish Robert would have been able to go with us, but due to some
parental issues.
That's right. His parents said no.
RGB1 said no.
Yeah. So our parents didn't love us much. They sent us home.
Tom was like, not the house. They's like, here's the keys to the van. Just leave. If you don't come back, not a big deal. Yeah. Enjoy the arrow storm.
But so it was a fun trip. So we've been talking about that this week, a little bit since we talked about it on the podcast and on our little Marco Polo thing. And we've decided we're going to take another trip.
Even better, we're going to do it in our 40s.
In our 40s.
Yeah.
So we'll be talking about our pooping irregularities and all that kind of stuff more on this one.
I'm sorry. I've been struggling.
Anyway, if you got tips on that. Anyway, so we're coming up with a place to go and things to do and things like that. We're trying to decide. We all like kind of different things.
Guys, this is great because we didn't discuss this beforehand. It just hit me. So right now we've kind of wrote Austin, Texas in pencil. So we can do the horns down in front of Texas Stadium because I neglected it the one time I went to Austin. So guys, drop in the comments section, and I'll even post this on the Facebook page. Give us suggestions to go. You can even do silly things like suggest that we go to Dover, Delaware. I don't care. I'm not going to Dover, Delaware. But
was that Wayne's World? We're in Delaware.
Imagine
Delaware.
Delaware. Hey, I'm in Delaware.
Close to Delaware. Anyway. So I guess in talking about that, Clint, you want to on the next part there?
Yeah, I tell you one thing. I don't know. We're all bigger guys. Wesley's even got a little tubby. I just want to say Wesley's not that tubby, but I still want to call him tubby.
Like 20 pounds.
I could, look, I've been, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and the reason I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is not because I want to be a bad, tough dude. It's an alternative form of exercise to me. And so, but we could all stand and lose weight, clean our diets up a little bit. I've been, my ex-college football teammate, DJ Crane's got us on this thing. And so I've been working on getting at least 10,000 steps in a day. I don't know if you can tell, Travis could stand to lose a pound or two.
Yeah. I have a few less.
In this, so we talked about it like, hey, we talked about making a contest out of it and all that. And so what I want to do, Travis has got some weight to lose. And so what we agreed upon, well, first we had all kinds of suggestions. So I said, look, I tell you what, we're probably gonna take a trip next May once school's over because Wesley.
That's right. So we're talking about a year.
A year. So a little bit over a year because we're at the end of March. Today's the last day of March. So we're talking about going out till next year, May 2022. Wesley is a well-respected educator. I don't know. Well,
Yes, he is.
yeah, he is. He is. Wesley is a phenomenal coach and a phenomenal teacher.
The rest of us have no respected education.
No.
That's right.
I'm living proof that C's get degrees. So I got a degree in sociology, which is why I work where I work. Anyway, carrying on.
Well, here, let me go from there.
Yeah, take it over.
So Clint said, okay, Travis, here's the challenge. He laid it on the line for me, right?
I'm laying a lot on the line here.
I of course, need to lose weight. And that's my biggest issue. In fact, the 10,000 steps, that's a big ramp up for me right now. Okay. So, because I need to lose weight before I can even get to that many steps, probably.
And that's fine.
And
We got baby
And
steps.
so I said, Clint said, I'll tell you what, Travis, he just threw it out there. He said, if you lose 100 pounds by the time we go on our trip, I'll get Branscombe tattooed on my left butt cheek.
Yeah.
Now listen, folks, one of the reasons we're doing this podcast is because Clint and I mean, all of us, we're pretty creative guys.
We are.
And we just wanted another avenue to be creative. And so my creative juices got flowing. And I said, no, it's gotta be more than just Branscombe's name. That's come on. 100 pounds. I mean, look, 100 pounds, I'm still gonna be fat. Okay. But that's a lot of weight.
That's a lot of weight, and that's a lot of sacrificing good food too. So
Exactly. So I want it to be more than just Branscombe. So then I threw out there a picture of Branscombe, like in high school yearbook or something, like
young Branscombe.
like a picture of his face or something. We went with that for a little while. And then Clint came up with another idea.
Yeah. And actually, I'm happy you segue there. I thought about a picture of Robert doing the Costanza.
Yeah.
This is going to be my new, I'm putting it right up. This is
We have-
background.
We have a new backdrop.
Oh, I'm cramping. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this is the new background. This will be up. I'm going to cover the feminist propaganda with this.
That's right.
Oh my goodness.
Robert doing the Costanza.
So
We told you we had a big surprise for you.
that's right. Yeah, Robert had no idea about that. And that's the
I'm
first time
thinking
I've
you put these. Robert, hey, by the way, you didn't know this, but I trademarked your likeness. So
Sweet.
so I'm thinking about putting this on a shirt and selling it for like $15 a pop. I've got a good friend that has a direct to garment printer. And so so next podcast, that's going to be up here. That's going to be my new back.
That's awesome.
which to me, that's a wonderful idea.
It's a
wonderful
great
idea.
It's a great
But then the creative juices just kept flowing.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it just
everyone I've told about this has died laughing. And
it was like a beam from heaven shining down onto my brain and sending this out of my mouth. And it just happened. And I said, nope, it needs to say this booty covered by Hometown Roofing with the logo.
yes. I agree. 100%. So I'm in.
Oh, man.
That's amazing.
I'm in.
That's good stuff.
And Clint, like, no hesitation. I'll do it.
Yeah, I will.
That's a brand right there.
And that's how much you mean to me. And I really, and I want to, I don't want to update. We're not going to tell everybody what you weigh. I don't care, but I think, maybe every month, this is the last podcast of March. So the last podcast of April, we give the people an update. Say, hey, I'm down 10 pounds. I'm down 5 pounds. Let's just keep them updated. I think this is going to be I think it's going to be good for you. It's going to be good for all of us. All of us are going to participate.
Yep.
All of us are working on getting our steps in. I mean, we kicked around ideas like, okay, whoever finishes last has to do this.
Yeah.
Has to wear a Viking helmet, 6th Street in Austin, Texas. And then we come up with this, and because you're in, we're in, and we're all here to support you. We love you, and we're going to do if it takes. And I I train wrestling with my good friend Francisco Joseph, who wrestled at Central Baptist College. He, me and him talked about. He's like, Travis, I'll help you, whatever you need. I got you. So the thing is I don't know if maybe this says more about me than you, but there's a lot of people that want to see me have a tattoo on my backside for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it. We're going to do it in Austin, Texas. We'll do it on the trip. We will live
We'll
stream
video it. It will be part of the podcast.
Podcast. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So that may be our first NSW.
Hey,
Yeah.
show that picture one more time.
I got you. Hey, and I've got 3 of these, so I'm going to give one to Travis and Robert. If you want one for your house, there you go. That is Robert Raskin on the Costanza.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, it turned out well. It turned out. I'm happy with it. So
I'm crying.
I got it up this morning. It cost me breakfast at Denny's.
Okay.
Travis, I've invested more money in this than you have. I'm up to like $3 invested in this podcast. So
Okay.
and you are paying.
Right, so
Robert, you're paying for the tattoo. I'm not paying for it.
all right.
We'll have it.
I'll start saving.
We'll have it.
Clint, we're toward the end of our time here.
Yeah.
Let's talk about possible future sponsors. I know you got a good one here. What do you
I
got?
did. When you go trick or treating as a kid, you get the houses that sell Snickers bars. There's houses that I know that would give away full size candy bars. I always hit those houses.
Oh yeah, praise
But
the Lord.
it never failed. You'd get that peanut butter taffy that's in the orange and black wrapper.
Yep.
And literally, you ate all your other candy. All the Dum Dums are gone. The Twizzlers are gone. Skittles, M&Ms, all the good candy's gone. And then you got this, and literally the only thing that candy did was taste nasty and pull out fillings. That's our future sponsor. I don't know who makes it. I haven't done research on it.
No one knows who makes it.
Let's be honest. We're not going to do any research.
No.
I don't even know.
I agree with you. I think that's a good sponsor for us, though.
Good sponsor, yeah.
Because everybody knows what it is.
Yeah. I mean, everybody, as soon as I said the orange and black wrapper, I was like, oh, yeah, that's nasty.
Well, having to watch my intake of food lately, okay, I drove up to Clinton this weekend, and on my way back, I told y'all that normally I have some gas station stops, and I'm a gas station connoisseur of food and snacks.
Get them corn nuggets.
Oh yeah, this body sponsored by Chester Fried. Yeah, they're too big for us to get sponsored by.
No,
I started thinking about
Chester Fried.
those candies in the gas station that are like 59 cents a bag.
Red Hots.
It's like clear bag, but it's got like a red and yellow label on the top, and they're impossible to open without a knife. Like you have to like dig into it with your teeth to get it open. But they'll have like two for $1 or 59 cents a piece, and you get like 4 Bit of Honeys in a bag, or like 5 Star Mints or something, or like they even have one with remember the wax Kool-Aid
Oh yeah.
Coke bottle, so that has a little Kool-Aid in it or whatever.
Those are awesome.
Whatever company that is, I looked it up and I couldn't find the company. But whatever company that is, that's our sponsor.
Yeah.
That's a future sponsor.
No, we always segue. Robert, do you have a future sponsor other than Hometown Roofing, who's a current sponsor?
No, what I was going to add to that though, those wax Kool-Aid deals, you could like drink that or whatever, and then just use the wax as bubble gum. Y'all never did that?
Well, but it didn't blow bubbles very good.
Yeah,
But
And the flavor
Yeah.
was get pretty bad pretty quick.
maybe that was just me.
So, Trav, I know I've got a big announcement on my future guest. Do you have a future guest in mind this week? I know you got that one guy.
Well, okay, Jeff Nichols.
Jeff Nichols. He's calling.
Jeff
you now.
Nichols is a standing feature guest. Look up The Disappearance of Maude Crawford. I have a movie idea for it. I need to talk to Jeff Nichols. By the way, he lives in Austin, so we can look him up when we go there.
We're just gonna knock on his door, like
Just knock on his door. It's like, dude, I got a movie idea for you.
slightly less tubby guys than we are.
I know you get movie ideas from like millions of people, but mine's more important because it's better. So listen. Plus, I got a podcast that like 30 people watch. So
We were up to 70 views the last time I checked, and the other one was like we did over 100. So I mean,
look at us.
We think.
All right. All right. So my other one is okay. They're getting a lot of publicity right now, so it may be hard to get them. I think before they did this most recent commercial, it would have been easier. But if you watch the Geico commercials, the tag team,
Oh yeah,
remember the whoop, there it is.
that is the best. That's the best Geico commercial.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that's one of my favorite songs of all time, to be honest with you.
Good one.
Tag team back again. Check it, direct it. Let's begin. Party on, party. People, hear some noise. DC's in the house. Jump, rejoice. There's a party over here. A party over there. Wave your hands in the air. Shake your derriere. Yeah, I just shook my derriere.
A lot of dairy here.
But if you remember when they came out with that song, there was like several versions. There was like and it was like Whoomp, WHOOMPH. There it is. There was Whoop. There it is. There was all these different, but theirs is the one that stuck with time and was able to be. So I'd like to interview those guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
They're heroes of rap that don't get talked to a lot. And I think, they're not, a lot of people didn't know who they were until Geico put them on blast. But
And
so that would be mine.
I'm actually going to want to this week because I have a standing invitation to Judge Roundhold.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm going to announce that I actually achieved a guest for next week. I know y'all thought.
Wait a second.
What?
We're going to have a guest.
We're going to have a guest.
And it's not Robert?
Not Robert. And it's not Wesley. I do want to have Wesley on eventually and talk. You've mentioned a couple other guys that we could get on the podcast. But or high school football coach, also junior high football coach, Mr. Coach Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner.
Bill Buckner will be on here next
That's
week.
what I'm talking about.
Steve, I'm slapping y'all both on the head with my hat right now. I'm thinking about it.
He's actually going to come here. We're going to figure out where we're going to shoot from, but he's actually going to sit by me. He's just going to do it. He's going to come over to the house and we're going to do it together. I said, man, you can slap me with your hat for old time's sake. He goes, man, I gave that up. What if I beg you? Will you do it if I beg you?
He hadn't spent that much time with you lately. Wait till he's around you.
No, trust me. After about 10 minutes,
It'll just come out. It'll just come
he's
out.
going to want to slap me.
It was always the ball cap that had the metal clip on the back.
That's right.
Right, remember? And when it
And
hit
it's
you,
breaking.
it just rang your ears because that's what he hit with. Was that?
He wouldn't. Now, I want to make this clear as we're joking about this. He never hit us in the head. He never physically abused anybody.
It's on the
Now, he
helmet.
was on top of the helmet, more like, "Hey, boy, pay attention to me." And I think as we
It was
realized,
funny because that clip would break and then he'd be mad the rest of the practice. His hat wouldn't fit right.
no, and I think as we've grown to be adults, we've all grown to love the man more every day. And I think, and I'm looking forward to him telling stories about the evolution of high school football in Arkansas. Talk about what it's like coaching us. Me and Travis wanted him to give an honest scouting report on us if a college coach was talking to him, which I don't know if I'm going to let him do me because I'm a little sensitive. But guys, I think our time's up. I've thoroughly enjoyed this. Robert, I've enjoyed having you on the podcast.
I appreciate you.
Guys, really, We're gonna push this this tattoo thing. I did have the question for you guys. I can't remember what it was that we're going to post. Hopefully we remember it when we go back and post and edit this. Y'all two may remember. We all know. I was at work the other day and I'd lost my water bottle, and I whined about losing my water bottle. It's one of them nice thermal water bottles, and I looked for it for 2 hours, and I'd set it down inside a tire, and somebody else finally found it, so I was happy. So I'm 44 and my memory's going rapidly. So.
Well, guys, it's been great. Robert, it's been great having you on here. Clint, great job as always.
Oh, great job to you too.
Y'all keep letting us know what you think about the podcast. Like, subscribe on YouTube. Don't miss next week.
It's gonna be great.
Bill Buckner, not the
not the guy that cost the Red Sox World Series.
No,
the Bill Buckner, I'd say
legendary.
I think legendary high school. I mean, he's been around high school football for a long time and has done very well. Great, man, awesome defensive mind and great football mind. He just did things a little different, and we had a big impact on our lives. And it's just awesome that we get to go back and talk to him, and we're going to have a chance to tell him thank you. And so that's
and I think we're more excited
awesome
about
opportunity.
That. And when I called him yesterday and we talked about it, he jumped on the opportunity. I did send Miss Vicky a link. I said, "Hey, look, it's a clean podcast. Me and Travis are doing it." Not me. But also the question of the week, I did remember as we were sitting here, give us trip ideas.
Yeah.
Right now we've got Austin in pencil. We've talked about different things, and not just like, hey, I think you should go to Austin to eat at Franklin's Barbecue. I mean, say, hey, go to Austin, try Franklin's Barbecue, which we all know that I have the attention span of an ant. I'm not going to go stand in line at Franklin's Barbecue. The barbecue could be free. I'm not standing in that line. So,
yeah, give us ideas. If you were going on a trip with your 4 best friends, where would you go, or what would you think would be a cool trip? We like sports. We like music. We like food.
Part of the reason we're doing this because we're basically going on a trip and we're going to eat good the entire time.
Yeah,
we're going to be doing a lot of walking.
So make up for a year of.
Yeah, we're gonna see how much of that weight we can gain back on this trip. But guys, thank y'all so much for listening. Be sure you subscribe.
Like and share. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on Instagram. Follow us on all of those. But please let people know if you like what you're hearing, if it makes you think about things or whatever. If it's like you and your buddies sitting around, that's what we want it to be. We want it to be like you and your buddies sitting around talking, because that's what it is for us. It's some buddies sitting around talking, and we want it, and we know you're doing that during the week with your friends. And so tell us what y'all are talking about. Tell us, and that's why we want you to respond. What would you, if you were going to make a trip with those people you're in that group text with, where you talk about sports, or you're on Marco Polo with, what would you do with them? Okay. So give us responses to that, like and share, let other people know about it. Just say, hey, give these guys a listen. They're worth listening to if you think we are. If you don't think we are, fine then. We'll still sell you a roof. Right there. Right, Robert?
That's right.
All right.
Robert doesn't care how much you dislike me.
That's for sure. That's the truth.
Well, y'all listen, have a blessed day, fellas. Love you guys. Enjoy it as always. And thanks for watching and listening to the Big C and Bigger T podcast.
Woo! Go Hogs.
Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Sweat, work, filthy, dirt, harvest, hurt, kingdom come. Listen, that's why I sweat when I work. My hands get filthy down in this dirt. Won't see no harvest till I hurt. Crying your kingdom come. Listen, I wake up in the morning. I bow my head to pray. Mama told me if I don't, ain't nothing gonna change. These prayers breaking up hard ground so I can sow the seed. Ain't afraid of